Root can do it again and burn his tongue.
Thank you. Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Yorkshire Tea and XP, brewed in the heart of Yorkshire by three MFL-obsessed lads. And I've just realised we don't have an agenda. Like,
No.
Root is just fucking fully slacking off.
Yep.
Not getting anything prepared for the pod.
Throw the towel in.
It's
You can thank Mr. K for it because the last couple of times he's gone, fuck it, don't need the agenda anyway, that can't be asked with it. Remember last week when Hammers was on?
Yes.
So I'm like, you know what, boys?
What are you on
Fuck
about? It's not important until we don't have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It literally, you're about to realise.
I mean, I don't look at it, but it's important. It's it's part of the routine. Yeah.
It's our 20th episode, so we just can vary things up. Any order you want, whatever you want.
Well, I think the first thing I should do is point out for the people watching, the people who are listening won't have a clue what I'm talking about, but for the people who are watching, there's only two of us on the screen. And that's because Mr. K, his camera, as he came up to set up the pod, he realised his camera isn't working. It's absolutely shafted. He's probably going to have to replace it. So last minute, we were just like, right, we're just going to have to hear his beautiful Yorkshire accent instead of seeing his beautiful Yorkshire face.
Nah, then.
Said nobody ever.
So
You can't see which finger I'm holding up, Root, so...
no, we know.
I can't see what's in your other hand either, but I can imagine.
Oh, it is. To climb the wall like Spider-Man in here, end of the pod. Anyway, carry on.
So I think we should start out. Obviously, is just how was everyone's week? How have we done? Obviously, we're recording this on Sunday, just half an hour after the 2026 champions just beat Arsenal. We're going to win the league, lads. I'm telling you right now, we're winning the fucking league. And I cannot believe I've only seen Arsenal play twice this season. Obviously, when they played us both times. I don't make a habit of watching Arsenal. How is this team like top of the league and everyone thinks they're fucking the favourites? Because they're shit. They're set piece FC. Like, they're shit.
They were
They're
very poor
literally
today.
set piece FC.
They were poor today.
They
They were
are
very, very
poor.
poor.
Both times we've played them. Like, they I thought they got lucky in the first game. They've been poor.
They didn't
both
look
times.
good, but don't take it away from your boys' performance because
Oh.
Carrick has walked into that dressing room. And
Give him the job.
It's all changed.
Give him
the
the job.
attitude's changed.
Put the
The
contract
work-
down. Put the
the
contract
grafting.
down. Don't care what number it is. Give him the job.
It was last week on Match of the Day when they were sort of reviewing the City game and how you played in that one. And the points they were making about all the players working their asses off to cover ground and backing
Yeah.
each other up. They're doing that in spades. And you have to do that against Arsenal because they will play boring football. There's no getting away from it. They'll play boring football, keep it solid, and work set pieces, work opportunities. But they were poor today, and you just capitalised.
Yeah.
It was like that Dorgu finish was unreal. But then
Oh,
Cunha
yeah.
at the end. I mean,
Oh,
come on.
I was like, because they just scored, hadn't they, off their corner, and I was like, okay, draw at the Emirates, not bad. And then Kuna just went and did that, like I shouted out loud.
But again, attitude again though, because under the previous regime, if he'd come on Cunha in that game, it would have been having a sulk all the game because he hadn't been on. He didn't start the game, but he's come on, worked hard, got a goal.
Yeah.
And it was the same for everyone that came in. So fair play. Can't say any further than that. I think it was a deserved win. I think it would have been a fair result, a point, but if anyone's going to edge it and win it, I think United on the day deserved it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Champions
I think-
elect, boys. We're winning the league. So my week's just been made great. So how was yours?
Nice. Yours
Mine
has been
was
dreadful.
shocking.
Yeah, yours has
Yeah.
been dreadful, hasn't it, Root?
Mine's been shocking. I've
gone
just
missing.
had time away from work, away with work, really long days. I've not watched an MFL match since last Sunday, which I was saying to you before we came on. I'm literally logging in, rotating. So whatever position my teams are in right now will be a surprise for me tonight. The only one a couple of results I know, obviously, just because someone in Discord's maybe messaged me to gloat about it, so I'll know about that. Other than that, I've got literally no idea what a progression looks like or anything. So when you guys, if I don't even know if you guys still hate the match engine, or if we all love it again now. I've been non-existent in Discord, so that'll be interesting for me. So yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting episode. Episode 20, and I've literally been missing for a week. But it can only get better, right?
Yeah, there was radio silence from Root all week. It was very strange. Usually we're getting nagged and
Weird.
everything.
It's weird. You talking in the Discord. It's odd.
Yeah.
Yeah. I logged in one day and it was like in the top left, I think it was on one of the evenings, it was like 60-something messages. I'm like, I hadn't even been involved in it. And I'm logging in just to literally go, really sorry, guys. And I was like, it must have been weird, though, because I normally am in there every day, aren't I, saying something to you two. And I think at one point, I think it literally was maybe 3 days where I just didn't put anything in, maybe only like a thumbs up if I saw something. It's just been mad week, mad week.
I think it comes down for you, mate, honestly. Because obviously we know how much you love MFL, and you're supposed to work to live, not live to work. So just remember that. So
should be calm from this week, hopefully.
Yeah.
Got some big projects on, so yeah, it's one of them.
And what about you, Mr. K? I think, I mean, we're going to get into it later, but still hating the match engine?
I'm still not a fan. I still think it's an unrewarding match engine. And that has been my synopsis. Have I come to terms with what it is? Yeah. I put out a poster this week with the Discord channel we've got with some of the other guys that make content and stuff, and said basically, if I carry on moaning about it, just tell me to stop being a bitch, because it's not helping just sitting there moaning about it. And I don't want to jump on the bandwagon with everyone else doing it, but I still stand by my particular evaluation now that I don't enjoy it. I don't feel like if I get a win tactically, I've got the edge on my opponent, or I've outsmarted him, or even like I've got wins that I'm like, I don't feel good about it, because it's just there's a bit of a dice roll going on. It's a bit of a casino lottery. Yeah, I've got losses where you go, well, actually, I got my tactics right in that game and it didn't get rewarded. That's fine. That happens. I'm used to that. I'm used to being the underdog in the big leagues. But yeah, it's just one of those match engines that I'm finding it frustrating, because I think there is way more variance, and I've been able to drill down into it, and I've jumped into the data that I gather with everything to sort of see, am I going mad with it, or is there something truth to it? And when I started comparing previous seasons' data, it was just so bold in all the data, just how different this match engine is, which I think is something that we'll come on to, whether we go into I've gone back and forth on this presentation idea, because listeners / viewers, there was the proposal that I put together a bit of a presentation on my thoughts to try and keep it coherent. I don't know if I actually want to do it, because I don't know, is it helpful? Is anything going to change? No.
I mean, I thought what you put together was interesting, personally. I think it was interesting because you can see the words and the bullet points, not just hear it. So, like I've obviously had the luckiness to see it already and look through it, and I just found it was like I could understand more about some of the stuff that's maybe being said. I'm quite interested to know as well, like you said, because I have been out of it a little bit, have MFL said anything? Has anything come back? Are we still evolving it? I saw there was Patch Friday, and I read that obviously on Friday, so... Yeah, it'll be interesting when we get to that section.
It's not, yeah, the dev updates was what they're working on for the next iteration of the match engine. It's not for this season.
Yeah.
The patch they put in was because there was a singular incident in a game where a goalkeeper made a save, went down by a post, then stayed just almost off the pitch next to his goalpost while the other team took the corner, headed it in, and the goalkeeper hadn't moved the entire of the time. So that was the patch. It was fixing that bug that had shown itself seemingly the once. But other than that, nothing else. All the dev updates is referring to what they're working on for the next match engine and stuff like that.
I think those sort of updates are the updates they should be doing. Like when they released the experimental, and I've said multiple times in multiple places, 14.00 was fucking brilliant. And what they should have done is, instead of releasing the 14.01 or 02, the one that did all those changes with the defensive awareness and all that, instead of doing that, they should have saved it until next season's engine to introduce them. And literally, once they've released the experimental, they know it's all working and everything's looking good, then just do updates for the bugs. like the game-breaking shit, like that the stuff with the goalkeeper, because that clip was horrific. And unlucky to that guy. For
I've had
losing
some
the game.
thought on that. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
had some thoughts on this. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. We won't go on because after everything Mr. K just said, and last week's episode where we talked quite at length about the engine, we decided there's more to say. So the topic of this week is, again, the match engine. And what I'm finding is a lot of people are having very different experiences. And it's I'm one of them, because I think there's a lot of things you're going to say, which I'm going to counter, because I'm not seeing the same thing.
That's
so
great.
I think that'll be a good, topic of the week. However, let's go through our clubs. Let's give an update on everything's gone. We've just played our 5th cup game today, everyone.
Yep.
So coming up to the mid-season break. So who wants to go first and show their clubs?
Do one of you two want to go first? I'm just quickly going through, having a quick look at mine. Well, I have just had a look at them. Just to try.
Okay, could you always go last? You go first, mate.
All right, then, boys. 1 moment. Let's get the share screen on the go.
I've now decided which ones I'm going to show and which ones I'm not.
So overall clubs. I'm not going to bother with everything ice and below. I might jump in Yorkshire. Let's jump in Yorkshire Tea XP. It is full rotation for the cup games and prioritise the league. I really do not like the formation that I'm running. I just don't. I really, really don't like this formation. I wanted to set myself a challenge to really push the boat out. And instead of running this formation this season, so I'm going to run it. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like I like solidity. I like consistency, and it's very up and down. Very up and down.
Just go on the squad page. Just go on the squad page for a second.
Yeah, go for it.
I was looking at this the other day, and I'm not. This isn't a slight on you at all. I was just looking at it, and think about it. Look at that squad, and when we joined back in season 5, that squad would have won ice. Undefeated, not even with a problem. It's fucking mad. It is absolutely mad. I mean, you're doing really well. But yeah,
I got promoted. I got promoted in Stone with a team exactly like this.
It's bonkers, isn't it? It's absolutely bonkers.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, though, because that's what we were saying even on the last couple of episodes. I know you're going through your team, your clubs. It's like, how do all those lower players, those mid-late 40s, those low 50s and all that, even playing them down in any of those lower divisions, it's just, you can only play them about...
I've got something for that, but I'll come to that when we come to my clubs. Okay. I'll talk.
That's what I've been doing. I've only got the 4 Flint clubs. I've got loads of Sparks. Lots of these will probably be Flint next season, but I literally don't care. They're just at home for that exact reason, Root, of giving them players a place to play. And it's allowing me to unearth potentially talented players. I had a 49 rated player at the start of the season, newly minted, and he's now 54 rated. He's absolutely going gangbusters. Never in a month of Sundays would I notice that or known that if I didn't have a Flint club and I was playing him in it. So I'm chill over it. I don't care. Ice and below, I don't care how they turn out. What I do prioritise is the cup, because in theory you're playing equal opposition. So those are the games where the high rated players are the youngsters that I want good match XP playing against reasonable opponents. I've got the best opportunity to win, and that's what I've been doing. So however they do in the league, don't care. I've got some surprise ones, like which one is it now?
It would be interesting to see how they evolve that though over time, because I do think it would be good if obviously they might have more leagues after Flint lower if they want to, or they might divisionalise it up, but it'd be good if it was like, I'm not saying maximums everywhere, but like in Flint, like say you could go like max 60 or something, but you could have 3 players over that, or I don't know, or just something interesting to keep it there, because at the minute I'm just doing the same as you, where I'm like, if they're winning, they're winning. If they're not, they're not. But you're almost like some of these players, you really want to be able to like play with them properly and have a chance of winning, have competition. And I think to your point there, like where you've got like 70 rated team, and they would have been challenging in Stone, and now they can't even get to the middle high of ice. Which I get, but at the same time, it makes some of those lower ones, if they're not doing what you're doing, almost worthless.
Yeah.
Like newcomers on the game, I want them to be able to buy $1 players, and then be worthwhile having them players at them low divisions.
So I've helped build some teams like that with that. But I'll do my whistle stop with just the clubs that are worth shouting out about. So the Platt team, which are grossly underpowered compared to my opponents in this league. I was just like, every time they load up a squad page against my opponents, I'm just like, oh crap. Honestly, I think this is one of Dio's teams. He's top of the league. Played him last night, and I saw his team load up as we kicked off, and I was like, well, this is pointless. Because
Roma are basically a fucking diamond team.
There you go. So he's got averages of 94, 94, and 93, with mine being at 88, 87, 92. And I do think, personally, in this engine, I've got to a point now where I can overcome it in some cases because I've got some really good results against stronger teams. But it's not as forgiving, this match engine, as it previously was. I don't actually have an issue with that. If you've got better players and you've got it reasonably well set up, just because someone's really good tactically doesn't mean that they should naturally get the win. The Roma team. This team need to be beating the teams around us, and the start of the season was really, really, really rough. So we've got a couple of wins recently, because we got a couple of wins down here, some in the cups, and a few draws where, had they turned into wins, which I felt like we were a bit unlucky, really, then great. But it's going to be a slog. The job is to try and keep these guys up and aid with progression. Like one of the guys, where is he? This guy. He went +1 recently. He's 22 years old and he's just gone +1 to 90 rated. It's one of the DAO owners, and that's what I'm there to be doing, basically, just helping progress these players. So hopefully they are more useful elsewhere. Has he gone up recently? No, he hasn't. I thought he had. Go to Eindhoven. I hated this team previously, and I've just started working things out a bit more. We're doing pretty well in the cup. Bullshit result. I don't care what anyone says. They got a penalty and they had 1 XG. And got 3 goals. It was one of them sort of games. But I totally rested the team because we just started getting a couple of wins in the league, grinding them out now, and we're in a bit touching distance now of those above us. Try and keep the silver side up because this is probably the weakest silver team I've had. But the power creep is also there, guys, in bronze, silver, gold, plat. It's the same throughout the entire pyramid. There is that power creep there. I'll do some of the stone, but not all of them. Quito, top of the league. This team are quite a good team. I've got a couple of draws going on in and around here. I think they were earlier in the season. 4-all against the guys that are second in the league. It was quite bonkers, really. But I've sort of found my feet with my tactics now as to how I want to set up, so I've got a bit more consistency, but there's still wild variance. Grenoble, sitting top of the league. Axis, they are struggling in this one, but this is quite a weak stone team. I think we were saying about the Yorkshire Tea team. It's not miles better. It's probably my weakest stone. We've got Owls, which aren't a strong one, but they're sitting second. Just grinding out some results here and there. Peacocks, that are naturally very strong. Sitting, 6 points clear at the moment in that league. Some of the results, we came down, but I think we came back from 3-0 down in this game last night. Drew 3-all. This is the... Do I come on to this now or come on to this later?
I don't know. It's funny that you're going to highlight that team with this league.
I'm going to show this game because the match loaded up and I was like, what the fuck? And I'll show you why. Because you know how I like to play, guys. There's a 3-4-3 in my lineup here.
Right.
And players out of position, low fitness and everything else. I should have got absolutely mullered. 1-all.
Okay,
wow.
Madness. That was because I had someone in one of my cup games constantly friendlying all of my stone teams because they were playing this stone team. And I was like, sod off. So I put loads of dummy tactics in. Thought I'd done all the games, so I had all the formations out, and that one I'd missed. I got a draw. I should never be rewarded for bad tactics. I got a draw. That's a left back playing right mid. He's a DM playing left mid. Fair enough. He's a centre mid who can play right back, played centre back. This guy's a cam who cannot play centre mid. He's got 37 defending and 51 physical. Exactly, but this is the point. I mean, he did play 5 at the back, so screw him.
Yeah, but still, it's irrelevant.
But this is my biggest gripe with the engine is you do not get punished enough for bad tactics. You do not get rewarded enough for good tactics, and it feels very backwards for what we've had previously. Now, my tactics could still be shit, but trust me in terms of how many tactics I've tested, yeah, whatever. And this one's sitting 5th. So I'm going to stop there with mine. Generally speaking, quite happy with how things are going across the board. I'm just not enjoying that tactical battle with managers this season, which is something I usually really enjoy.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go next, or do you want to go?
There you go, mate. I'll go last.
Fair enough. I'll show the teams I care about the most from what I've obviously just looked at, and I know that, yeah, I care about the Minas Jaguars the most out of all my clubs. This Flint team, these are the ones I want to take to the top, get them all the way.
Oh yeah.
Try
Watch
and win
replay,
everything
watch
if I can.
replay, watch replay, watch replay.
So they're doing amazing. Third in the league. I assume they're playing good football. Who knows?
I've
But
turned
they've
that
grinded
off,
out
mate.
results.
I turned that off when I realised this season I had so many teams. I was like, yeah, I can't cope. I'm just going to have none of that. I turned the anti-spoil thing off because it's just so much
To be
easier.
fair, I probably could have done that last week. Would have helped me a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're doing good. This team, my favourite team of all my clubs. And then the second one I care about the most, obviously the Bulls, as you all know from history. Been trying to get these to the top of the rankings for 2 weeks now. I think it is. No, in all seriousness, these two teams are doing really well by the looks of it. But dive into it being properly now. Let's have a look at how we're actually getting on. So Dockside, 4 away from third. Again, I can't quote on how we're playing and how the game's going. Apologies to everybody that cares about my clubs, if you do or don't. But we're in sixth. Looks
you've
like
won
we
two
are.
of your last 5, lost 2 of your last 5, and drawn one of your last 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Cool. And then in the cup, I guess if we win the next one, we've got a chance of going through still, so that's not too
Who
bad.
have you got? Oh, you've got bottom of that group who's got minus 25 goal difference, so you're in with a chance, to be fair.
We're with a chance of that, aren't we?
You just need
Let's
top
see
of
how
the
that
league not to
goes.
rest. You need top of the league, top of that cup group not to rest.
You need to pay attention tomorrow, because look who you've got tomorrow.
Well, yeah, but tomorrow, this week I've got a good week. Last week was just bonkers. It's all behind me now. I was working yesterday, a bit of this morning, but it's all done. So tomorrow and next week I'll be back all over it. So no crappy content from me next Sunday is the plan. Yeah, that should be a good game.
I don't know, this
he'll
is
probably
making good
back-
content. This is making really good content.
Probably my best content ever. So
Yeah.
there you go. And I'm in a light-hearted mood because I had such a shit week. I'm taking this opportunity to be happy.
Good.
Yeah. I think we're not really underperforming, to be fair. We were predicted like 4th, I think, weren't we? So it's there or thereabouts.
Touching distance.
Rum lads were predicted rock bottom, and my God, they're doing their best to make sure that happens. They've won a couple of games this season, so
Can you show
got a
me the
nice
squad
5-1
here?
battering.
Can you show me the squad for this one? I
Yeah,
thought I
they're
saw
not
some of it then.
stone level. They're not stone level.
You could keep them up though in terms of that sort of strength. They're not like down and out sort of stone level.
No, I probably. I'm obviously going to try and keep them up. But
Yeah.
if I keep them up by a point or two, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I will bring 3 players into this club at the mid-season because
Pack
there's
draw.
obviously positions that I'm not doing well. So, and then seriously, the other one I would normally show was the Bulls, which I've already shown, and they're doing. I'm happy with how they're doing. To be fair,
Yeah.
they predicted a lot lower than that. They're doing really well. They're in ice. Again, I think they're probably. They're not even
Yeah.
really strong ice team. Really, they're just
Competitive.
just competitive, doing really well. And they're doing really well in the cup as well. I think topping the cup as I just shown there. So we'll see how that goes. So overall, to be fair, it's not going that bad. It's just a shame I've not been able to watch my games and really think about which players are doing well, because I normally would do that. Like normally I'd go, that was my starting left back and right back, but he's really underperforming. He's getting shit ratings, and watching the games, he's not doing what I wanted. So this guy, when I've been playing him, looks better, and so on. Same with like centre mids, because even though I've got a set rotation, it's quite easy for me to think which is my preferred 2 strikers, which is my preferred cam, and I've just not been able to do that. And I think in those 2 teams at the beginning, the Bulls and the Jaguars, I think clearly, however it's been working out in the league, they've been having the best players already with the ones I probably chose by pure luck. But in my other teams, that's clearly not the case, because when I was looking just then going through, my right back, say my right back in my Alpines team, he's played like 4 games, but he's light years ahead rating wise than the one that's been played like 10 games or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like clearly he needs to be the starter. So I need to work through that, which I'll try and do maybe some of that tomorrow or something like that. So yeah, absolutely missing watching the content though. It's so sad when you can't watch your games.
Yeah.
Because, like, just literally not having the time. And to your point, Bruce, before, like, I don't know if it was when we were already recording or before we came on, like, yeah, need to get back at it because you don't realise how good of a game it is, even if there's frustrations when you've just taken a week of not being able to watch those goals flying in or those tackles or whatever it is. It's like, yeah it's just crap.
I don't know who to say. I had an absolute horror show in the cup tonight, but I'll start here with Newton Heath, who were my cup team. Unfortunately, we're out of the cup. We got beat twice by Monkey, and that's fine. You know what? That's okay because I beat him in bronze, so it's totally fine. We're down here in 8th in the table, but we drew against First, who were on a great run before the Firsters, and we drew against one of the teams in 4th. So, I mean, we're slowly turning it around. It's just the points that reflect, because look how close, 17 points in second and
Yeah, good
so
point.
it's not far away. So I think that's going to be okay in the second half. Go on to Fortress. Fortress are exactly where they're supposed to be. They were predicted 5th. We're currently predicted 6th. We're currently 5th. The one thing that I hate about this team, and it really annoys me, is they just don't seem to move with progression. Like, they barely move at all. And I know it's because they've got a lot of older players, but this time I was like, I'll take some of your younger players to try and get them some progression, and they're just not moving. They're like, they get the odd little +1 here, but it's just with how well they're playing, I'd have expected them to have got more progression. But yeah, we're sitting where we're supposed to be in the league. Currently top of the cup.
Through now.
Yeah, we're easily through. We lost tonight again. Rotated team. No, it wasn't actually a rotated team, but we lost. But again, it's not a big deal because we're through. Rossiter. Oh my God! I've turned this one around. As you can see, I am currently sat in 3rd. We were in relegation spots, but it's really. I'm struggling with this because they play 4-4-2, which is my go-to formation. But with the way this match engine is, I can't. The reason I can get it to work the way I like to get it to work is because I can micromanage every single fucking player.
Yep.
But in this engine, I daren't put in all those extra stuff because it just falls apart.
Yep.
So it's just struggling in games. It shouldn't. I've got one of my farm teams who also play 4-4-2, and they're also struggling. And it's very weak when I can't give it a level of detail I want to give it that I normally would. You pointed to this team. We lost to them. We lost 1-0 to them. It was like completely shock result. Like, how have we lost to them? What the fuck? And it just seems that way at the minute. But we're back where we're supposed to be. This team is completely overperforming. 19 points. We're in 3rd. Also almost through in the cup. A point tomorrow in the cup game. We're through, and we're doing really well. Again, we've got some good results. We drew with them. We beat them, and I believe we might have beaten Bekasi. I can't remember where we played them. I think we beat them, but we're doing well. Ricknild Rift, another team I've managed to turn around after their poor start. Another team through in the cup. Clear through in the cup, which is getting me so much MFL this season. Like, it really is. But we're doing well. Andrew Q's team there, sitting at top. He's on a great run right now. Next game we play against James, against his ACT Belco. So that should be a good game to decide if we can push into these playoff spots. And then my main team, and as you can see, things are going quite well. The one thing I don't like about this team is this. The start of the season with goals against, 13 goals against is just, I'm not happy about that at all. But as you can see in the results recently, we seem to have shored up the defence. We lost tonight in the cup. They played full strength. I completely rotated because, as you can also see, I'm already through. What I wanted to show with this is this game here. Where
Some
is
good
it?
form, that. That's
We've turned it round. We've turned it round. This game here could have been a generational head loss if it didn't turn out the way it did. As you can see, you were saying earlier, like, where shall I play my commons? Where shall I play my 47s and my 49s? Play them in bronze. Play them in bronze. Because look at this, you can sneak out a result. It was watching this game that was so bad because it just felt so scripted. You could see how many chances we had. And we were just missing great chance after great chance, great chance after great chance. They scored on the only fucking shot on target they had. And then it wasn't until we clicked into I can't see it on here. Where is it? Where you can see
Tactical change.
Yeah, I was
below
there.
your goal.
Yeah, tactical change. Yeah, we're 1-0 down, and it wasn't until we did a tactical change, and suddenly then we scored 2 goals. But oh my God, I would have had a major head loss if I'd have lost this one. Because look at the comparison. You know, that is a team that should not be narrowly defeating a team like this at all. So thank God we won, because everyone else has been smashing them fucking 9 and 12-0 and everything. And I thought, oh, nice, easy game, you know, pump the numbers, get the stats. Nah, we're not having that. You're gonna struggle all the way through the game. But things are going well. The problem is my next run of games in the league are at utter madness. I play Bayern, who are all the way down here. They're in a bad run of form. The problem with Bayern is they have a 92 rated striker who is also captain, so that's obviously a massive danger. And then followed that with RS Aces, who are a very, very strong team. We only beat them 1-0. It was a very narrow game. And then immediately after that, we play Sid's God Squad again for the second time. So this run of 3 games in the league is really probably going to define where I finish. If I can get some good results in there, I could be in with a shout at the title, but obviously I could also lose all 3. Not really sure, but things going well after a bad start. I seem to have worked out the issues, and you know, we'll talk about them as we come into the topic of the week, which is us moaning about the match engine. Except me.
And me.
So, Mr. K, I know you prepared a presentation, and if you want to put it up and we talk through it and go through it as you want to do, then go through it, because I think people will be interested to hear your thoughts.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. I've gone back and forth as to whether I want to do this or not. Mainly because...
Lovely graphic, mate. That's
to be fair, yeah, mine looked absolutely shite. Listeners, I was like, I can put the information down on paper. I don't do tarting up presentations. It's not my vibe at all. So I put it out to the boys in the group to say, if anybody wants to make it look a bit nicer for the pod, they're welcome to do so. And Root, you very kindly jumped on that, so thank you very much, good sir. So it does look a lot better. But yeah, I've gone back and forth on this one because I still love MFL. I love so much about it. I love progression. I love the community around it. I love tinkering. I love the messing about with it. But one thing I've always loved is getting to grips with the tactics and the match engine. And it could, realistically, just be me. It might just be, I'm no good at this match engine, which is absolutely fine. That could be the case. Why won't it click through? What are you doing? There you go. Because I genuinely do believe it's really, really good. So I'm trying to. When I was putting this together, I was like, I want to be really objective about what I'm seeing and try and not lean into the subjective angle, because there are people who love this and there's people who don't love this engine. So that's cool, because there's no like. I want almost like acknowledgements before we go into having a conversation about this, because every time I hear an argument or people talking about this subject, it's like people are pointing out the obvious. Like, there is no single right way to play FL. Absolutely agree. People will have different experiences. Some people will love this engine and are saying they love this. And that the fact that just because there's negative voices, they'll always sound louder in the community. Of course they will. Like, you notice negativity way more than positivity. I accept all those points. But there's still a general, I would say, net negative towards this season's match engine. So I was trying to, okay, well, can we drill down into the why and the cause and effect around that? But behind all of that, I don't think we've ever stepped over the mark. I think all the content of her people aren't stepping over the mark. A majority of people in Discord aren't overstepping the mark. But there is like a team behind this who are incredibly bloody passionate about getting this right, keep working on it. They're only a small team. And like, these comparisons between, I don't know, Football Manager's match engine, it's chalk and cheese. It means nothing because, well, they've got a small team. They've been doing it for, I don't know when MFL started with their 2D match engine, but I'm gathering that it's probably not as long as Sports Interactive who've had match engines and an entire generational department of budget to go behind this and build a match engine over the course of years and years and years and years. And I don't think anyone wants to lose sight of that. So this is not a let's bash MFL and their match engine and how the state of it currently is. Because
on that point, before you move
go
on,
for it. Go.
Just on that point, because you said how long have we had a 2D match engine, and I know
Yeah.
it's not great right now, but I believe it came out at the start of 2025, didn't it? Or like Christmas when they released the full game. I think it came out around then. And
Right.
there was something someone showed me, Hoodwink showed me in the Discord the other day, because he plays a game that I don't play, and I'm not bashing Footium. I don't play it. I don't know anything about it, but he showed me Footium's match engine, right? And we've got it good, guys. Come on, like honestly, we've got it good. If you again, that's not bashing Footium. I don't know anything about it. I don't play it, but if you just look at the match engine, MFL is streets ahead. So we've got to remember that we are eating
Agreed.
good. Would you rather go play Footium? Like,
Oh yeah, because I saw
Nothing
that thing
there.
that Hoodwink shared, and I was like, "What is that? There's nothing to that. It's
There's-
like going back to the 1990s and playing a Football Manager thing where you just go
Text-based.
play game, game's done.
yeah.
There's the result. We could have that, but anyway, like in terms of what we're seeing across the community, you are seeing strong opinions, and it's both positive and negative. You've got those who love the engine, majority-wise, and then you've got another majority who are happy with the engine, and you've got this sort of bit of a community in the middle where they're like, well, it is what it is, and just accept it what it is and move on. I mean, because there is a debate over the state of the engine as to is a problem with it. But I think a lot of what drives if there's a problem with it is your match results. If you're not getting your wins and you're getting a lot of losses when you feel like you shouldn't be doing, you're probably not going to like the match engine. But I think that's fair to say. If you're getting the wins and it's working really well for you, more or less you probably like the match engine because you're getting the results you want. And I get that. And for me, when I was sitting down and really listening to people like the When Dirt one, I've listened to the Ramble, a couple of streams they did last week, and I jumped on one of them for a little bit. They were very welcoming, and I hopped on for a little bit. I listened to Laird, I listened to Ryan Walter. I've listened to a lot of different bits of content, and I'm just constantly sort of mulling it over in my own head, trying to put a pin on what is it I don't like about it, because I've got games, you can see, I've got some successful teams, I've got some unsuccessful teams. There's no team where I'm being successful or unsuccessful. I'm enjoying this. I feel like I'm the tactical aspect of the game and me influencing the outcome based on my tactics. I'm not feeling that being rewarding. I've got wins where I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I rolled well in the dice roll that I did. Because the important point that I wanted to make was when I was trying to put this coherent point across is the engine is fair because everyone plays under the same rules. Everyone is playing the same match engine. It's not different for this person or anything else. And some people actually are genuinely enjoying that, and that's absolutely valid. I have no issue with that. I have no issue with, like, if you sat there, Bruce, across from me and say, no, I love this match engine for X, Y, and Z, you're not wrong, because you are enjoying this. And it is a game, and it's about how you get that enjoyment out of it. And the match engine is a puzzle to be solved, I believe. But that solving that puzzle is the bit I'm finding really, really difficult. Because I'm just like, to solve a puzzle, there's certain parameters and rules, and there's certain outcomes I'm looking from when you're trying to work out, am I trying to solve the puzzle in the right way? And the evidence, when I do data-based evidence, it's not stacking up from what I'm gathering. I haven't done endless testing, like as in I'm sitting there every single day running test after test after test after test. I've ran more tests on this engine than any previous one because I've been trying to work out what it is about it. So, like, previous engine, let's go for season 9 and 10, we had the same engine. I felt, so very subjective, tactics were more controllable, and it had iterated on like a stable foundation of an engine and continued to improve it. My subjective opinion is for this season is that some aspects of the engine have improved, but I don't feel like there is a sense of tactical control. I feel like your amount of control you can influence over your team and your players is less than what I've seen before, because I run a methodical, data-driven tactical approach. That's the lens which I view this through. People who don't do that might not give a shite about this, and that's absolutely fine. But this is what I am finding it difficult, and when I talk to other people who tend to be similar, they're communicating similar things. I could just not
jump
get it
in on
right.
that.
Go for it.
Yeah. So even people that don't play it, methodical, data-driven, tactical optimization that you have there, that is the key to how it all works in the background. So regardless of how all the rest of us play it, that is the key of how things work, right? The data is what drives the match engine. You know, a cross, a pass, a tackle, you know, how many advancing runs someone does, how many trackbacks someone does, whatever is captured any of that data, shots on target, shots missed, yellows, reds. So even though others that maybe don't dive in the data, that is still what is driving the output we see on the screen. Mm-hmm. You're just understanding it more because you're actually seeing behind it that actually, I might just go, oh, we missed a few chances and it said this, but if you're looking at all the data across it, you're actually going, yeah, but that's 5 missed chances across 10 games. In every single game you miss 5. Whereas us that are just playing it are probably going, oh, I missed 5 in that game. And then a few games later, oh, I missed 5. And that's why it's really important. So getting the data right. So if you're looking at it and, I don't know, say you've got someone on like more offensive or more defensive or low position or more position or high, whatever it is, if those things are not drastically changing from the standard, and they should be drastic one way or another, because to make it exciting and enjoyable, every toggle you trick should have a percentage of dramatic change, if you like. It doesn't have to all be the same, but then that's how you get variations. If I've got a cam, you've got a cam, we've all got everything the same, but that cam between all three of us has any combination of those toggles individually on that person. That is what drives, or should drive, each of those teams to play different. And I'm talking if it's eggs as eggs, like all the same players, all the same ratings, all the same exact things. And if you're saying the data behind it, when you're toggling any of those, is not really influencing it as much, then is not a good thing, is it? Because it really should.
That was my first concern when looking at the match. There's 2 points I didn't want to interrupt as we were going. My data is a small subsection of the volume of data that MFL themselves, the dev team, will have. So my data could be wildly different to theirs because they have got all the data, and that it could literally be because I've got a certain degree of control over a team I'm running, potentially against another community team member's team or one of my own teams, and I've tried lots of controlled conditions and doing air quotes that you can't see right now. But my control method, my controlled experiments will be nothing comparative to the controlled experiments that MFL themselves can run. They say that their engine is working the way they expect it to, or the massive like website-wide database they'll have on all of this, where their data might wildly different to mine, and I accept that. And it could literally be the case of I have not solved the puzzle yet. I'm not closer to solving the puzzle. My issue is my process for solving the puzzle is throwing very varied outcomes comparative to previous iterations of the engine, which is what's making it feel like I can't even get an inclination as if I'm moving in the right direction because of the wider degree of variance, which the data I'll show shortly, I could give you any sort of data in the world and spin you a yarn about how it's the best or how it's the worst. I'm trying to remain just objective and present the data. People can come to their own conclusions. So I build my tactics around team strength, try and do controlled simulation testing. That could be against the same team, or multiple iterations of the same tactic, and I use the minimum sample size of 10 games cumulatively, or I'll run it between 2 of my teams, so I know exactly what's going into it. And I'll never match players like for like, so they can have the exact same team strength, but there will be differences because every single player is different. Totally fine. And I try and repeat that data capturing process over and over again. I'm constantly tracking metrics that I view as important. So I'm looking at goals against, for and against, shots for and against, XG for and against, and I do lots more around that. So when I start viewing a tactics being solid, is that the metrics, not the outcome, because there's variance. There'll always be, like you showed that game before, Bruce, where it was a 2-1 win for you. The data there, I could have lost that game, but if I'm seeing the same consistent level of data from a result, I'm going, okay, I know this particular setup is producing consistent outcomes within a certain range. I feel like that tactic is solid. Then I'm looking to refine it to go, okay, how do I turn that consistent performance into results? That's what I'm doing first, because if I just focus on the results only, I'm at the hand of God in terms of the gods of the variance and of the engine, which is just no help to anyone. So I'm looking for a win rate that exceeds 50%, and then I look to start trying to tweak and optimise and go from there. What I found was massive variance in terms of the outcomes of that data I was showing, and it was the range of the data across multiple simulations. And I keep running the same tests over and over again to try and see it. So this is Season 11 engine. might look like a load of gobbledygook to everyone, but I've got 10 games. I ran 5 against a 4-3-3-D, 5 against a 4-3-3-A, just for controlled test conditions, because it's one thing I do every single match engine, because they're two of the more popular formations, so I want to see how it stacks up. You can see I've got the score, goals for, goals against, the difference in that, the number of shots I get, the XG per shot, opponent shots, the XG of the opponent, and the XG's opponents per shot. And I'm looking to monitor trends and patterns with those things. So in there, the average number of shots I was getting in the game, that sample size of games was 11 shots. Fine. Might mean if some people look at this data and go, I don't care. Fine, cool. And I'm looking at my opponent's shot, because I want to be out shooting my opponents and hopefully getting more XG, better quality of chances, in theory. There's more we can talk about XG. Let's not go into it now, because it's not a simple thing, and it's not necessarily even saying I'm right. But the average range for the shots, for the ones the average range across shots and opponent shots was 7.5 was the average range. So the lowest number of shots and the highest number of shots. No, it was the variance. I can't remember now when I was working this out. But the range was much higher in the amount of shots I was taking and the number for my opponent's shots. So for my shots, the range was 7.5 shots. For the opponents, it was 5.5. This is a sample of previous season's data when I did the same test, because I run it every single season. The range for my shots, and we've got a very similar set of outcomes. Like there was 4 wins, 2 draws, and what was that? 4 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws. In this one, I think it was 5 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws. So 1 win was a loss, vice versa. But the range across for shots was 2.5 for mine, 3 for my opponents. There was just much wider swings in the data. Now, I know you've edited this from your route, but I put them side by side to show exactly what the average was working out at, and it was the range of. So if I had 2 sets of testing the engine, and from last season to this season, I was getting on average 10 shots. How close the cluster of that data was from 10 was a lot closer in previous engines. This season, it's wide. It's really varied. So I'm not getting consistency in the output from the engine, which is the bit I'm finding difficult, because I don't just do that with shots. I look at XG, I look at chance created, and then I start diving into shots on target as opposed to just shots. And then of the shots on target, how good was their XG? I go really granular with all this to try and get a real data handle on, okay, empirically, I'm performing consistently and I'm performing well. I am yet to have a test on this current season's match engine that matches anything to similar previous engines. And I suppose at the end of it, the outcome for me is I could just be shit at this engine, and that's absolutely fine. I've not been great every season. I'm not good at this match engine, and that's chill. It could be this is exactly what MFL want as well. They don't want it to be that I, as a user, can game the match engine so effectively that I have tight control and I can outperform my means. That is absolutely fine, but he's moving the goalposts for what it was before. Because I've done lots of variants here, and I've gone very simplistic tactics, and I've gone more complex, and then in between lots of variances. Every single set of data that I have on testing tactics is less is more. The less complicated, the less in tune, especially around individual instructions, the better the outcome is, because I'm no longer looking for that consistency in the data, because I just don't believe it exists in this engine comparative to previous engines. There might be consistency that people are getting in the data, but I, hand on heart, think it will vary wildly compared to previous iterations that we've had of engines. And I was hoping that this year that we'd continue to build on the last season's engine, like keep what was working so well and iterate and improve on what hadn't been doing as well previously. My assessment, subjective opinion, I don't think they've done that. I think we've gone back, and I know people are saying, oh, there's things that we got rid of in previous engines, they're now back. I don't know if that's the case, truth be told. But ultimately, if I play good tactics, I want to have the sense that I get rewarded for it. And equally, if I play poor tactics or get it wrong, I want to feel like I'm punished, because then it feels like tactics matter. Right now, I don't think tactics matter as much as they should. That's the bit that really that's the bit that I struggle with. That's the bit I'm struggling with this engine, is I'm not investing as much time and detail into matchups against other opponents with tactical setups because I just don't feel it has the level of impact it once did. So is it worthwhile? Or am I worthwhile doing something else? And that's kind of where I'm up to.
I think that's good, by the way. I think that presentation, like you say, I think it's really helpful, and I think it'd be good, depending on how you feel, just drop a copy of that into the Discord episode thing or something if you're happy for
I don't mind. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right. By no means does it mean I'm right.
I think the couple of interesting takeaways from me on that one is like, when you're saying about I might just be shit at the engine, I think when you're looking at the data and the data of how things work, which is what I just went on the rant about before, which I'm not going to do again, I think when you're minded how you are to tackle things, you really can't and shouldn't be shit at the engine, because it shouldn't really be a thing, because you're almost turning everything on and off to understand how it goes. The only thing that is one of the things that's jumped in my mind is that, like, do we think that players' attributes are now maybe playing much more of a role than they ever did, and is that something that might be throwing a new spanner in the works, or do we think actually that's not that, it literally is the toggles of the match engine, like, I don't know, whereas before if you had someone that, as you said, I don't know, crossed more often and they were lower rated and higher, it didn't matter as much. We talked about this on a number of episodes, like where someone with like 60 rating could make just as good risky passes as someone that had 80. But do those individuals' instructions matter more, so they're having an impact on figuring their engine out, or not? It's just a question.
I think that's a very hard one to test, because one thing that I had to stop somewhere with that presentation and everything I put into that. You could turn off the 2ED engine for me, and I feel like I'll have exactly the same experience, because I'm not basing any of my assessment on what the 2D match engine is showing me. It's not basing it on, that defender's acted really strangely, let me do some engine reporting feedback. That has nothing to do with the price of fish. The result's already been determined. How the match engine wants to show me how that played out to give me a sense of like I'm really engaged with the engine. I'm like immersion, that's the word I'm looking for. I don't need that. I like, in terms of like being objective, is this working or not? That's got nothing to do with my assessment of this engine. It's literally, what data is it showing me I am producing for match performance? Like a Moneyball approach, but to team tactics, not players. Are players' individual attributes contributing? You'd hope bloody so. Otherwise, what's the point? In any of the players, if they haven't got variance and difference to them. If someone's got 60 passing, one winger's got they're both 82, one's got 60, one's got 70 passing, I would expect the one with 70 passing to make more successful passes statistically, empirically, than the one with 60 passing. Does it mean he's better? It's just he should be more successful at his passing than, because maybe the other one's better at shooting, so I expect his shooting to be better. Statistically, and there's too much variance in all those manners of data that I've gone to, the length I've gone to, where I'm like, that approach is not working for me. And that's the bit I feel sad about, because I like that, and I like engine testing, I like tactic testing, I like finessing things and tweaking it. I'm running the most simplistic tactics that are producing more consistent results with slightly less variance in the data, but it's still got a higher range than every other previous iteration, and I just feel sad about that, because I can't put I don't feel like I'm being personal to my teams, my tactics, my players. It's just a case of, here's a tactic that I believe it'll give me, I don't know, a 4 out of 10 chance of winning this game, and I hope I roll the dice well. That's what I feel like I'm doing every game, and that's the bit I feel sad about. So yeah, that's my current assessment. But I'm also keen to hear alternating views from that, because that doesn't mean I'm right.
Well, up until about Tuesday last week, I was exactly where you are. Thought the exact same things. Thought it was, too much of a coin flip. I was exactly where you are. It was then Monkey pointed something out to me. And big shout out to Monkey as well, because like I said, we're division rivals, and he still shared this with us. So shout out to him, and I've promised I won't gloat when I beat him in the second half of the season. But I played 3 games against your silver team, as you know, Adam. Your silver team is not strong for silver, but it's not
crap.
It's not too far away from my team. It's not like my team is way better than yours.
I think you changed some of your players to make sure it wasn't too much stronger, so you could have better testing conditions.
Yes, and I played 3 games against that team. Everything was the same, all tactics, and it was like I said last episode, I was playing the same game, same tactics, different results, and that's exactly what I got. I got 3 completely different games. I applied this thing that Monkey talked about, and that changed completely. The coin flip, the variance, and in the data, I ran a lot more than 3 on this, and from the data I got, the score was around 3-1 to me, because that's the one that appeared the most, and I got a 4-1 here and there. I think there was a couple of draws, there was a couple of games where I lost 1-0, but the thing that wasn't different was when I went into the match stats, everything was the same. Across all the games, and the only variation there was in the result, which is exactly what I wanted, The problem is now, I think more than ever, because you're asking what's the problem, I can't work out the problem, and I think the problem now more than ever is there is a meta. If you want those consistent results, then there is a meta, and if you don't use the meta, you're going to get the coin flips. It can be anything, because there's way too much variance. Once you've put that meta in place, the variance stops. And I think you know what it is, and you just refuse to do it. And I think you're where I was last season, when I was being real stubborn, and it's like, I don't want to change the way I'm playing. And I think that's where you are right now. I don't disagree with any of your points, because I don't think having a meta is good for the game at all. But if you want to get good results, you're going to need to use the meta, because there was one this season.
I am.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
That's interesting, because
I saw that. I ran the same test with your data. Still got greater variance on the data. The range of data was still wider than previous iterations. Closer than what I was getting with the first initial test. What I'm showing you on the screen is similar tactics to what we've talked about, that Monty was alluding to and stuff like that. And I got greater variance than what I saw from your testing that you did, because I thought, you're onto something, it's working, let me run the test and just plug the data in, still got greater variance, better, but still greater variance than previous engines.
I think there are differences around it, because what I found is when I doing this meta bit gave me the better consistency in the results, to then where I could perfect my tactics, so my tactics were good. Whereas before, I didn't know what was good and what was bad, because I was seeing so much variance. Putting this in allowed me to refine my tactics in, because there wasn't as much variance. So I think the stuff, because you play 4-2-3-1, which is a completely different thing to the 4-3-3.
Absolutely.
Different.
Yeah.
So there's you couldn't copy and paste my tactics to yours. I think there's other stuff you might need to do with it to get the consistent.
Yeah. With this set, I'm showing 4-2-3-1. It's one I'm most comfortable with. Perfectly reasonable acknowledgement. I've run the same test with 4-3-3-D on teams that I can run it with. I've run it with 4-1-2-1-2, 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, 4-2-2-2. What else did I run it with? I've run it with all sorts, and I'm still seeing greater variance in data empirically than what I've seen previously. And all of that could be absolutely moot, because it could be I've still not got a good enough handle on the engine, therefore it's producing greater variance. Perfectly reasonable assessment to make. But all I'm going on is, it doesn't seem to matter what test and what combination, and it got to a point of, I don't give a shit about an identity of our play. I really don't care. It's about solving the puzzle, getting the results. But I start with looking at consistency in data to demonstrate to me I'm on to something. This is something that gives you a bit more control. At the moment now, it just seems wildly more varied. And is that an issue? It's an issue for me. Doesn't mean it's an issue for the game at large. I might just have to adapt and move on, and that's what it is.
It's an issue. I don't think it's good at all. I'm not saying it's good. You should be able to have more tactical control, but I think all my teams now have been closed down into a hole. Like, they're all playing the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas last season I had 6 or 7 teams all playing different.
I was just going to show some on the screen because, like I say, I've just been going through, clicking on all my results to see them all. I know I could just unhide them, but I don't want them unhidden going forward. So I was just clicking through, and one game just jumped out to me based on what you're saying, like now about logicalness and that kind of stuff. And it's literally this game jumped out to me. So my team won 9-0. We had 38 shots, 16 on target, 16 off target. They didn't have any, right? But look at the ratings. 60, 56, 64 for me. 61, 60 and 61.
Oh, they're fucked though. You can see they're fucked.
But it's more the fact that if you look at the ratings of the players, look how they are. Yeah, I know you mean the rating, as in like their match rating, but I still just find it. Would you expect even with them to go down to like, don't know what are they going to be like? Mind you, they are 60.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
To hit a 9-0?
Yeah, well, yeah, you see it a lot. It's the freak ones that people show where they've got beat or they've drawn a game like that. But usually, and what I'd expect to happen, like majority of the time, is that because you do see it a lot. It's just people don't shout out about it when they smash someone 14-0. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah. I just jumped out to me because I was like, that is a lot of shots and a lot of. Well, maybe these are. Yeah, I guess
think it's just they're knackered.
So.
Yeah, I think
you're expecting that to happen then, so that's not out of the ordinary. So that's fine. There's no big wins on this one. I think they were just the big ones. Just jumped out to me like all of a sudden. Why is it 9? So clearly, the energy side of the players, the fitness side of the players, clearly is doing what it needs to do. So there's no issues there.
Yeah, in that game. Yeah.
I've seen some games though with that sort of energy depletion where I've seen the opponent's lineup and gone, yeah, you're going to be really low energy. That should have a real impact.
And it doesn't.
No, it's a 50-50. I've got 50% of the games where I can show it has had an impact because look, I've obliterated them. Another 50% of the games I'm going based on the stats again. So you can watch the match engine, and I always take that with a pinch of salt because it's literally going, okay, we've got the result. MFL's got the result at the back end, and they're going right now. We need to give them something to watch. So match of the day highlights, please. How should we make this look? I get the behaviour sort of piece, like people watching and seeing things, because people are so emotively and immersed in it that if you watch your defender buggering off to the corner flag while the striker's through on net, you're not going to be happy about it, because that's what caused it. There was a calculation that said they were going to score, and they're just trying to give you some sort of highlight to view what that looks like. But that would be very, very bloody annoying, and I get why people are annoyed at it, because people don't want to have that immersion broken, because it takes them away from what they love about the game. And am I still having fun in MFL? Yes. Lots of ways I'm having fun, and I'm focusing on that now. I just wish I could do what I love and what I feel like I'm actually quite good at sometimes, which is really get into the weeds of all the data and the stats and help feel like I've got a bit of a control over what I'm doing. And I feel like I've got a bit of it now with what I'm doing, but it still feels a bit... I'm still running tactics with no individual instructions.
No, I fully agree on that point. It's like I've stripped down everything. There's sometimes where I'm just like, I daren't put a tactic on, and if anything at all conflicts, and we're going to talk about this when we come to Tactics Corner, because there's a few things that the guy does that is conflicting, and he's getting wild results. Anything conflicts at all, it's just it throws it out the window. It's just like you've said, a dice roll, and I don't like that. I like to have the control. I'm totally like that. So while I may have found the meta, do I think it's cool? Do I want it for next season? You know, if they said, "Oh, we're going to run this match engine for season 12," I'm probably hoping club delegation comes out, because majority of my clubs will probably go get delegated because I won't want to bother. But yeah, I just think there's a meta this season for the first time, and I think we've got to find it, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. I used to love those head-to-head battles. There was a guy that was running a 5-2-3 against me, and he's doing really well with it. And this is the guy that was running against all my Stone teams. I've beaten him one cup game, he beat me in the other. I tried something a bit different, and it didn't work. But I was really fascinated watching it and stuff. But even watching him play his very set way, because he was testing. It was really interesting because he kept back basically tactic testing for me to gather data. He must have played, and I've got 4 or 5 stone teams. He played each one at least 5 times, and even in that data set that I was looking through, the variance in the outcomes and the data that went into it was all over the place.
Yeah,
it was absolutely all over the show. I want the idea of you rock up to me to play me, Bruce, and you've got your set way that you've tailored to your team and your way of playing that you're getting results, and then it goes up against mine, and either I stick or twist with what I'm doing, or I try and counter what you're doing, throw a tactical surprise in. Right now, I just think, well, actually, we're just gonna roll dice against each other. And see, we both roll 2 dice and see who rolls the highest number, and see what happens. That's what it feels like.
Well, like I said, I felt that last week, and then because it's weird because we've got completely different experiences on the exact same platform. That I think we're quite similar because we both love the same things with the tactical stuff, and it's just we're finding very different data because I'm not getting the wild swings anymore. I'm not getting them anymore because of changing this specific thing. But like I said, now all 9 of my teams play a very specific way. Whereas last season, all of my teams played completely differently, and that's lost a bit because it's like, well, I'm just running one team, with 9 different masks. Like, where's the fun in that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm really hopeful. I've saw the dev update that they put out on Friday. I like the fact that we're getting a lot of information in them, as in, I know people will always say, oh, I want more, I want this, I want to show the data behind it, like Hammers was touching on last week. I'll tell you what I can get. Yeah, I'll tell you what we can get on it, but they're saying, based on the engine feedback regarding the engine, tell you what, rather than me read it, let me just share screen super quick. Discord, dev updates, here we go. So based on the engine feedback, we focused this week on improving all defensive mechanisms for future seasons. This is what I was saying earlier, Root, with the goal of releasing an experimental build next week if possible. And it improved defender positioning. Lots of defensive sort of bits and pieces, like players covering when someone's out of position, dropping in appropriately, marking in a more coherent manner, suitable pressing behaviour, especially in the person who's carrying the ball, smarter decision making. It sounds great. I just want to feel like that you can approach this game from a tactical point of view in any way you want how, and you can be successful. I feel like now, I agree with your point, Bruce, because I've seen it from talking to many people who are having mixed success but having success are playing very similar to what we're alluding to. I've actually just shared my tactical setup that I'm generally playing across a lot of teams, and because it's the most controlled, consistent set of data that I'm seeing with Root in our Discord, so you can have a whirl with it and see if it works with his 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. I'd be curious to see how it differs to yours. Out of curiosity, but yeah, it's just one of those. But we've got the Titans Cup anthem, the entrance music. We've got that, which, to be fair, was cool. It was really, it was fun. It was fun. I liked it.
It's flavour, which
it is.
Be mad at.
More immersion. Give us more immersion. That's what I want, because that's the bit I'm finding the most difficult. Is I've lost my immersion this season because I just can't get into. Let me get my Mourinho hat on. Let me start posting those Mourinho gifs everywhere in all the Discords that I'm in. I don't feel like I can now because it's just like I've just pulled the slot machine and I've done well. Get in.
I'm really hoping you get the fucking tag of being the money one of this one now, because you're exactly where I was last season. Like, so I'm hoping you get that tag now.
And this is where I was when I was putting this together. I was like, can I try and keep it as objective as I can? And where I'm basing my thoughts from is on the data. Now, I could show that data to you, Bruce, and you go, actually, that's not bad. Because it's interpretive, it's data. I'm showing the data, then people can do what they want with it, basically. Doesn't mean I'm right. It's just how the engine and my experience in the engines thus far is where I'm at, and I'm finding that difficult to overcome. But it's fair, because everyone's got the same thing. Everyone's got the same engine. People are having great success. I know Hoodwink and Monkey are really big advocates for certain aspects of the engine and stuff, because where it's going well, they're happy with it. It might not be going well elsewhere within their structures and stuff, but generally speaking, they're happy with it. Net positive, great. I don't want to change people's opinions on it. I'm just trying to sort of frame an objective point as to where I'm not. And therefore, people who are similar to myself, I'm not going to sit here and name drop people who aren't happy with it because they can say what they think about it on their own platforms or elsewhere. But there's a lot of people who approach the game in a similar way to me who are unsatisfied with this season's engine. And it's not just down to results. But we're almost halfway through now. It's now a case of knuckling down, trying to get the most out of it and optimise it until the end of the season. That's the goal.
I think the mid-season report's going to be very interesting.
I think it will be. Because, as I said before, I'm comparative to their data size. Mine's tiny, infinitesimal compared to theirs. So I'll be fascinated to see theirs.
Did you see my small conversation with Quentin in the Discord the other day?
I'm not sure if they did.
So basically, I said about like the big problems with this engine. My big thing was I said it was goalkeepers and passing, and he messaged back and was like, I get what you're saying about the passing, but what's the issue with goalkeeping? And I was like, well, I seem to be conceding like a huge amount of shots on target that seem to be turning into goals, and I nothing I change, nothing I do changes it. I just seem to be getting a high clip. And he showed me the stats of goalkeeper saves from shots on target, how many saves they were making, how many shots on target were going in goal, and it was really fucking interesting because we haven't seen those stats before. And he says he's going to put it in the mid-season report and break it up by like division and formation and stuff. So we're going to get a lot more information this mid-season report, which I think is good and needed. But it was interesting to see the data he had from. Like he said, it was just general over all leagues, but it was like the keepers were making about five point something saves a game, and they were facing about 6 shots on target per game, which that data looks great, but obviously the data I'm getting is like, whoa, what the fuck? So he was like, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to see if it's broken down by division or something, so that's coming, which is really cool. And like he said in the dev notes, the experimental engine's coming next week. I think me and you, mate, we need to, when that gets released, me and you need to coordinate and really fucking test this experimental engine and give them like proper feedback. Like before this season's even finished, me and you need to coordinate, do some tests that we want to do, and then be able to just give them a proper big set of feedback of our findings from the experimental to just be better, because this past experimental engine, it's just been horrific. They haven't got the correct feedback clearly because it's a mess. So
well,
I think
pre-season we tested on this version of the experimental engine. I know it's a slight change to it, but it feels like, again, going back to what I said before, chalk and cheese. It feels very, very different. And I think one thing I want to hammer home is this is not a cry to MFL or the community at large to come together and say, no, we don't like this engine, we don't want it to be this way. The game does not revolve around me and what I want. That's not my point. I'm just trying to put across why, when normally I love everything about MFL, all aspects of it, that this one strand of MFL that I do find important for me and my immersion and my enjoyment is why I'm not positive about it and try and keep it objective. Do they have to change the damn thing for me? No, absolutely not. I am not the centre of the universe when it comes to MFL, but this is where my point is coming from while trying to be objective. That's all I'm trying to do with that, because I really thought hard before I started putting a presentation together about what I wanted to communicate and how I wanted to do it. And I accept any and all of the points about it as long as it's respectful towards the engine and other users. Like we all can have a different opinion on this. We can all hate each other but still coexist, sort of vibe.
Exactly.
Shall we keep it rolling then? Move away from the match engine for a bit.
Yeah, well, we're going to move away from the match engine and we're going to go straight into Tactics Corner, which is all about the match engine. So, yeah. Root, do you want to go first?
I have.
Hold on, this week, I'm going to tell you the backstory on this. It was MFL Crazy, and he brought in his Winterfell team that is struggling in the league. He's playing 4-3-3. He's struggling in the league. And he tagged me especially because last season he played my Fortress team. Now, I want to get your guys' feedback on this. I want to get what you guys say about this. Fortress came up against his Winterfell team, and he says it was his most devastating loss. And we played him in the Cup. And in the first 15 minutes, he went 2-0 up, right? Was outplaying me. I was like, I fucking lost this game. He made a tactical change, right? Obviously, 2-0 up at any time, do this. He made a tactical change, and I won the game 3-2. Now, he was flipping out about this at the time, and he was like, I can't believe you've beat me, I can't believe... And I just said, quite simply, it's because of your tactical change. Now, based on the information I've just given you, lads, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So his tactics were great. It was his match plans that fucked him. So, don't blame me. It was you, bro. It wasn't my fault.
He was 2-0 up. Tactical change after 26 minutes with it being 2-0 up. Then you made it 2-2 just after half time. Another tactical change, you went 3-2 up. Another tactical change, you won the game 4-2 in the end.
4-2, right? Yeah. So that was him, right? That was on him, right? So, chill. It's on you. You got to look at you, bro. That was all you because you were kicking my ass before you started fiddling with match plans. You were kicking my ass. But anyway, as a sort of goodwill gesture, we're going to try and fix his tactic and hopefully save his season. So, Root, I think you wanted to go first, didn't you?
Yeah. I was going to help him. Had a look at his team. Obviously, I hadn't been looking at any of my results, as you know, but when I went to look at his team, I realised he spanked me 5-1, and then I thought, yeah, fuck you. I'm not going to bother trying to help you because clearly you're just trying to take the piss out of me, I'm sure. So, no.
That's the spirit.
Didn't bother doing it. There you go.
Nice. Mr. K, do you want to go next?
Yeah, what I was looking at first and foremost is going, okay, I can look at players, and you can have the best players in the game, but tactically you need to be getting it right. And so I started out with just looking at what tactics he'd submitted. So I've just pulled it up on screen here, what he'd submitted to us. It might differ from now. Yeah.
No, yeah.
So you can see here with these attacking instructions, he's playing slightly more wide, controlled, prioritising left flank. We'll come on to that. Balance long shots, cross less often, dribble more often. Again, if I had my camera on, you'd see the raised eyebrows. Attacking tendency and balanced, just slightly below 50% depth. Is at the first increment, it allows you to go to compactness because that's if you want either 50% or that one, you don't get anything in between. Trigger press more often, balanced aggressiveness, clearances on play out of defence. Straight away, I'm going. He's playing a 4-3-3-A. Why are we going more wide? It's already a wide formation.
Well, the problem I'm seeing with that is he's going wide and he's playing controlled.
Yep.
Which is like...
Yeah, you're moving your players further away from each other, but you ask them to come shorter to make shorter passes.
Completely conflicting.
Yeah, it's very conflicting on that one. So that was sort of like, if you're going to play controlled, your balance width, maximum balance width. I don't understand the flank preference. If you had an absolute demon superstar, he's the best player in that league on your left, fine. You don't. So I don't get that one. But there might be a thought process there. I think you said, Bruce, there was a left mid that went... Yeah.
It's because his left mid goes up to a 77 in left wing, but his right wing is also 77 rated. It's like... It's not like a massive gap. Like it's.
You do that if you had a really pacey left winger and you're coming up against a right back who's crap or low energy, doesn't have pace, whatever, and you feel like you can exploit something. Get that. For every game, don't get that. I don't get that one at all. Cross left option, not got a massive issue with. Dribble more often, I think, as has been discussed in many a piece of content, people are seeing the animation in this year's engine and going, dribbling's OP. No, we've got a bit more flavour in the match engine. We've got an animation now for dribbling. Doesn't mean it's any better. You might have some data that dictates that actually it is actually. Or if you had like quality, like real high quality dribbling players because they haven't got pace out wide. Normally I would have said do individual instructions on this, but I don't agree with individual instructions this season, so we'll put anything on that one. But yeah, the out of possession tactics, don't have an issue with trigger press more often, balance aggression and play out defence to a degree. I do think you need to potentially tweak that this year. Depending on your tactics, because if you're dropping off, do you want to press more often? No, because then you've got some players dropping back while some are pressing forward, so you're creating gaps constantly between your lines, between your attack, your midfield and your defence. And one thing in this engine, what you don't want to have is the opposition with the ball behind your midfield line attacking your defence. You do not want that. And in a 4-3-3-A, even more important that doesn't happen because they're very exposed if they get behind your 2 CMs. So I'd be potentially dropping back that trigger press. I don't have a problem with the compactness. Team depth, something to experiment with, is what I would say on that one. And then looking at squad composition, like what he's got up there. I mean, he's already at 25 players, so he's got plenty of rotation going on here. Obviously, I think a couple of guys for trading potentially. But straight away, we're going, okay, key positions, who have we got? Decent goalkeeper for Stone, that's not too bad, 76, fair enough. Strikers, what have we got? Okay, we've got 75 rated strikers, so not the strongest, but how good are they individually? Well, you've got one who can't dribble, he hasn't got the physicality, and he hasn't got pace, he's just got high shooting. That's a 2-striker formation striker for me. This chap, same deal.
Same, yeah.
They're individually they're going to struggle. It was like that season I loaned that guy of yours, Bruce. And every time I played him one up top, he struggled. Played 2, he was a demon. Mr. Little, I think his name was. Yeah. That is exactly the case study of going, that is a thing. That is definitely a thing in the engine. So then, looking past that, I think you can sort of get by with a good bit of rotation here and there. In terms of the wingers, as I recall, we weren't blessed for pace out wide, I don't think. 80's not bad. But if he wants to be a goal threat, he's not a goal threat.
The one he uses. He's using the 73 left mid.
73 left mid.
Yeah,
that guy, Borquez, he can't shoot.
Yeah.
He's got the pace, and I can see why he's an exciting player potentially because he's got the high pace, high dribbling, high passing. Can't shoot, so he needs to be a provider. Did we have Cross left often on? Yeah, we got Cross left often on.
Yeah, another conflict right there.
Again,
yeah.
So that's where that sort of tactic setup plus the players you've got, you've got to try and play into your team strength. And I think this year, more than any other season, it's about your team tactical instructions, not your individual ones. So it's about getting that balance and blend right. And I don't think you quite got it right yet. Previously, I think 4-3-3-A was great. It was one of the more meta-ish sort of formations. I don't think it is this year because, as I said before, if people can get in behind your midfield line, you've got problems.
Yeah,
and that's the problem with that formation for me. So that was my assessment.
Cool. So I went into a full tactic for this, and I do agree with a lot of that you said. My issue was I found that my left winger, because you've got a left winger and a right winger, as Mr. K said, they're both providers. You've got left footer on the left wing, you've got a right footer on the right wing. I don't have wingers like that. I have wingers the opposite. I like my wingers are, this left winger here, he is, he can get goals. He can also create, but he's a right footer, so he'll play completely different to yours. So this isn't going to be any sort of plug and play, but this is a base where you can use to then tweak to your own squad, because it's not going to be perfect here. I did make sure I had slower defenders like you do. The other thing I noticed was you had a lot of decent, okay shooting on your midfielders. I couldn't replicate that because I don't want my midfielders to shoot. So something, maybe you could tweak a little bit to help you out. We go to the results. I started out here trying to find what I wanted, drew 2. And then I went to these 2 games. I found something I liked with these, even though I lost. And it was going back onto what you said. Sometimes it's not about the result. It's about the performance of the team. And these games are primes of examples of something that really pisses me off in MFL. And that's these one-man teams. If you get a striker who is way above the overall of your entire team, they will literally carry you through the game. And it pisses me off. As you can see, 3 shots on target. They scored 3 goals. This guy was fucking involved in all of them. And then the second game on there where I pointed out was exactly the same. I was like, right, okay, I like the performance of this. And then I come up against two-leggers, well, almost a legger, but two, like, highly rated strikers above the thing. And I was just like, for fuck's sake. It really pisses me off where if you put a way above striker in your team, they will carry you through a lot of games. But again, it was the performance that didn't dishearten me, so I carried on with it. And as you can see, with a few little tweaks, we went on and we started getting pretty successful with what we were doing. This was a very tight game where we lost in the last minute on a penalty. It's just variance. It is what it is. But the performance was very, very consistent throughout it all. So in the instructions I've gone, I stayed very wide. And the reason I stayed, like Mr. K said, it's already a wide formation. You don't need to do this. However, I've done this because I've gone direct. You want to spread out. You use your pace on the wings, spread out, and just fucking pull the defence apart. Again, put it on balanced. Why are you doing this? Don't take less long shots. Balanced long shots work against certain setups. But as a general rule, I would say take less long shots and put the balanced on people who can actually shoot from distance. I would never do this because it just wastes chances. The crossing, again, you're in a 4-3-3. Why are you not crossing? That makes no sense, especially when your wingers are set up that they're left-footed on the left, right-footed on the right. It's perfect for crossing. So you want it at least balanced so everyone's doing it, and then you put more crossing on your wide players. Again, like Mr. K said, dribble less often because it's not OP. It's the exact same it has always been. And I've seen people say like, oh, I saw in this highlight this guy with 56 dribbling has, dribbled, done an elastico or whatever. What you don't see is that the other 9 times he attempts it, he does shit. He loses the ball. You only see it on that one time because it's in the highlight and a bit of variance went, oh, you rolled a 6. Well done, you pulled off the elastico. The other 9 times he loses the ball. It's not OP. It is not OP at all. So stop putting this over here. Stop falling into that trap. The other thing I did, because 4-3-3-A, I would always put it on more offensive. It's an attacking formation. Put it on more offensive. If you're going to play balance, play 4-3-3. If you're going to play defensive, play 4-3-3-D. You 4-3-3-A, go more offensive. My thing with the differing here is, this is all the same, is I went really, really low line. You've got super slow defenders, and you need this low line, this engine. So just stick it right down here. The compactness, I've played with it this way, this way, this way. It doesn't seem to make as much of a difference. I'm still conceding the exact same goals, so it doesn't seem to make that much of a difference. So I've just left it in the middle. For individual instructions, as you can see, usually I've got like loads of instructions on everyone. I pulled it right down, just told him to play out of defence. My fullbacks cross more often. If yours can dribble, I can't remember if they can. If you tell them to dribble more often, but if they can't, just cross more often. Same on both sides. On the centre-backs, just conservative passing. That's it. On the centre mids, this is where normally I would be like, okay, I need you guys on balanced or something, balanced attacking tendency to sit back. Don't touch this on individual instructions because it messes everything up. You guys know, Mr. K does, he's seen it. It messes it up, so just don't touch it. So they're on nothing. My Cam is on dribble more often, and he's not a great shooter, but I noticed your Cam is. So I put him on balanced. Just to try and replicate that. For over here, I tell them to cross more often, dribble more often, always do that on your wide players in 4-3-3, and then positional freedom high. And I've done the exact same on both. The problem is with this guy, he's a right footer, so he cuts in a lot more than he does, gets crosses in, but you won't have that issue. And then your striker, as Mr. K said, he's slow. So you either want him in a two-striker formation, or you essentially want him to become a tapping merchant, is what you want him to be. You just have your wide players putting the balls in to him, and him just standing in this area here, right here, and not moving, and never moving ever from here, and just getting all the passes that come into him and scoring them. Because that's essentially what you've got to do. My guy's a little bit faster, so I'm always... Oh, shit, where is it? It was this one. My guy's a little bit faster than yours, so I didn't want to put him on low positional freedom because then that fucks up how he played. So I took that off. But for your guys, maybe put him on low and just keep him in the middle. And just keep him here at this penalty spot, just waiting for tap-ins. And like I said, I think It's not a plug and play. Take that, test with it, and you will see, if you watch the matches, you will see where the holes appear in your own squad. Because I could see it very clearly, and I was like, right, well, if I tweak this, it'll be better. But then I was like, well, then I'm just tweaking for my players, and that won't help you. So use that base and tweak it to your own players. Yeah, I do that. But the 4-3-3, like Mr. K said, 4-3-3-8. If I see someone who's going to play 4-3-3-8 against me, I'm, clapping my hands together because I can see all the holes that are in there. And like you said, you could get behind that midfield so easily, and then it's just the defence that have to stop you. And with defensive AI right now, that's you're against the house in that case. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Let us know how it goes next week, and if any of that helped you and turn your season around. So that's everything there. The last section we usually do is progression. I don't know how you guys find it. I know, Root, you said you haven't got any. I've got some. They woke up for like a few days, I noticed. I don't know if you guys have noticed that at all, but for a few days they woke up. And I've started to get some decent.
I'll show mine for this current season. I'll just share my screen. Like, I definitely would have had... We're almost at the halfway point. So I have got someone that has got a +4, but he's in the dev centre. And then I've got a few +2s. And then... chunky amount of +1s, but still loads with nothing. And bearing in mind, everybody's in a club now. Everybody's in a club or in the dev centre. Everybody's playing an adequate amount of games or whatever. And most of my agency is fairly young for the most part. Some older boys, but, 24, 25 and under for the majority of these players. I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere near a good progression. And it also doesn't make sense because I know, like, obviously Rum lads are, like, bottom of the league and they're getting shit match rating, so I get that. But as you saw, like, Foothill Bulls are smashing it. That mean-ass Jaguars are smashing it. But, and some of these players I just would have thought maybe would have kicked on a little bit. And the only thing I have tried to do in my rotation is what we talked about right back at the beginning of this and even in the last season is if someone's performing in the match ratings or performing generally, just keep playing them. Just make that guy your main starter, striker or keeper or whatever. And I've even tried to do that for consistency. So yeah, this guy here has obviously kicked on with his progression like literally in this season, which is nice. This is probably his second to last season, maybe in 1, 2, 3. Oh no, this will be his last season in the dev centre probably. But out of that, where are all my +3s and +4s and +5s? Where are they all? Who's got them? Someone must have them because I haven't got them, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me because
it's the absent management that's been going on this week. They're just like, you know what, we don't have to train this week. He doesn't turn up.
It just doesn't make sense because honestly, like at this stage, normally there'd be with that number of players. I know you've got a hell of a lot more even than me, Mr. K, but you'd have one or two, every season. I've had one player at least, if not maybe a couple that have gone really pushing. That Massaro or someone else like that have really kicked on. Nobody. I just find it a little bit strange. So I don't know if something has changed with progression or if it's weighted or what's happened. I don't know. What have you guys got?
I think it's down to good management, really, when you get...
Yeah,
it might be.
I agree. Yeah. They feel like, you're not putting in the effort, so they're not putting in the effort in training, I think.
It's like,
maybe that's it.
The boss isn't here for training again, boys. Oh, well, should we go home?
Yeah. Shall I go next, Mr. K? Because I've got some...
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
So, for me, I can't remember if I showed this guy last season, but I got him in the mid-season pack drop. He was a 37 rated in the mid-season pack drop. And he just shot up towards the end of the season.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then this season he's gone in. So this is essentially a season. And I don't know how the dev centre works. I'm not sure if it's like he's only going to get 3.5 seasons or what, or if this is just like, I don't know. But this looks like an entire season of progression, and he's gone from a 37 to a 54, which is like, is this my first rocket? Like, I can't wait.
Is he in for 4 seasons?
He's in for 4 seasons.
So that's 120%. So whatever his prime age is, and how much his sort of potential is, because you've got 120%, it's like if his prime age, I don't know what age is he there? I can't see.
20.
20. So say his prime age was 26, and then it'll move forward by 20% because you get 120% XP overall. So he'll hit his prime quicker than he would have done if he hadn't have done that. And he's also getting optimum match experience. He's getting optimum training conditions. He's getting all that. So yeah, he could be flying, absolutely flying. But he started at 37, so it's like, what is his ceiling? His ceiling could be 60. We don't know, because his prime age could be 21, 22. But it's exciting because it's the what if. What if he is something? What if he is going to turn into this player? But yeah, it is, especially after 2 seasons in Dev Centre, and you've seen, what is that, 37?
Well, technically, like I said, it's 1 season, because got him mid-season pack drop, put him in the Dev Centre, and now it's coming up to mid-season pack drop. So that's just a season, isn't it? Like, yeah. Look at the stats he's got. +8 in dribbling, +9 in passing, +10 in physical. It's fucking... Because this is my first one. Like you said, it's exciting. It's really cool. This guy, as you aptly named him, Sydney the Passenger How, got him in a fucking... a rare pack from the pack drop stream. I've got an 83 CDM, and then he just didn't move for fucking 3 seasons. He's finally moved. He's now at an 84, but now he's at the tier break to go to Lego. So, is he just going to stay 84 for the rest of his life? I don't know. I really, really hope not. But yeah, progression seemed to wake up for me. This was awful. I played this keeper in the cup game. He played one. He hadn't played at all season, and I played him in his first game in the cup game because my starter wanted to rest, and he played that game and immediately went up to an 86, and I was like, oh fuck, like I've got a 25-year-old that I want to really be starting, but now I've got a better keeper, and in games like he's probably going to have to start. Well, the very, very next game my starter went up to 86. So I'm absolutely buzzing about that. So yeah, which is good. Not bad for $140, I think. An 86 keeper. So yeah, like I said, it woke up. It was really slow for me, and then it just suddenly woke up for me. So I'm quite happy. I'm hoping it carries on. But I know this is the part of the season where it gets bad. So maybe that was just a little bit of a cock tease for me. Just to
maybe it's different this season. Maybe this is where it gets good.
Optimum max XP is 80% of games. So we haven't had 80% of games yet, so we've still got a little bit of juice in the tank, but you usually do see the majority of progression at the start of the season, first half in particular. Because you were saying, Root, about that right back who's better, and you've had a chance to start reviewing, so you're like, okay, I need to review the squads. I've been doing that because I've been sort of tactic testing, tweaking things across my clubs. Is every time I've been doing that in the lower levels, like of ice and below, I'm going, okay, progression this season, who's progressing the most, and making sure they're in starting 11s over potentially players who are better than them because they're progressing. So I'm optimising that sort of side of things. Let's just do current season because that's what we were doing before. The guy that I said I was getting offers on randomly, he went another +1 today. He's up 5, and this is his first season, I believe. Yeah, his first season in the game. Right. So he's ticking along. And in terms of stats, he's really getting the stats all over the show. Did I turn off offers on him now? I can't remember what I did. Yeah, I turned off offers.
Well, those are great
exactly.
Positions.
Yeah, he's a really handy little player. So I've turned off offers on him because I'm sick of getting $3 offers. Because no,
you're not going to sell that for $3, are you? Come on.
Yeah. And this guy, I think, I remember, did I pack him? No, he was one that I picked up first of the night, 9th of the 1st. I've done absolutely wonderful there. That's great. This was one of these $1. Oh, he looks all right. I'll buy him for $1 because I needed a plugger. I need another left back. He's gone +4 this season now, so he's tier broken and gone +4. I've just had another one of those. $3 offer for this guy? No, go away. This guy that was doing gangbusters in Dev Centre last season, his first season in Dev Centre, is +3 this season. Slowing down a little bit for the moment. I reckon he's going to be high-rated uncommon, and I think he'll tap out around there because the way that seems to be slowing down. But what has been nice is like this guy ticking over now. He's +2 for this season. He's been progressing very nicely for quite a while. He's now the starter in that team, even though he can play right and left back, because he is progressing much faster than the right back that is in that team. So I'm doing that. What I have enjoyed this season has been he finally did it. He got a singular stat increase and he went up to Lego. He's not done anything more at the moment. I know we're talking at the moment about moving things around between some of our teams so he can get a bit more juice elsewhere because I think he is now not going to progress any faster in Iron. It was just 84. I want him to tick on a bit more, beat some teams up. He scored 5 goals in a game and went to Lego, so I'm like, right now he needs to go to Bronze. I think Silver is going to struggle, but Bronze he should be good. This right back, who's got the stat over here at 99 defending, has just turned Lego this week as well, and he's also continued to progress in his passing. Who else did I have? I've got a few just +1s here and there, but generally across the board, I'm quite happy with progression. I seem to be ticking over quite nicely with a number of my players. These are the annoying ones where they've been playing for donkeys, but he's now retiring, so every time he comes in for rotation, he gets stat increases. Oh, piss off. Like, go away. Keeps doing it. There's loads of them doing that. But yeah, generally speaking, very, very positive on progression so far this season. It's nice to check every morning. It's one of the things that I really do like about the game. I wish this goalkeeper wasn't in my gold team because I think he's just not performing very well because he's just not good enough for gold. Yeah. I'd rather it be swap the goalkeeper that I've got in silver for him and hopefully try and turn things around. But that silver team's not great. So yeah, I need to have a think about that because I don't want to stunt his progression because he started out, 82, he's now 86, he progressed... Yeah, he progressed the season before, he progressed the season before that. I just don't want that to slow down. But he's only young. He's still got plenty of time. What I have done, I didn't mention earlier, is I made some sales recently. I've moved on some of those aging players. So I've got a bit of a war chest at the moment, but as to what I'll do with said war chest, I'm not sure yet. I'm mulling it over. Well, basically, yeah, I could probably get a lot more clubs, but the price of clubs has gone up again recently. Yeah, the average price of them, and it's good for the game. I'm not paying that price. Yeah. I don't need to. I've got enough.
I suppose so I don't have to. 40 and 45, you don't want to be...
Yeah, and I don't need to, so I'm not going to, because it's not like an urgent need anymore. I've got places, at the moment, I've got 70-something in the dev centre. I think about 20, 25 of those are coming out the end of this year, and I've got around the 30 to 40 mark of retiring this season, I think. No, it's less than that. Retiring this season, it's about 10, but in the coming seasons, I've got 40-ish with the retirement notice. So I've got enough players for all my teams. I don't really need any more players at this stage. I can just keep what I've got and bank MFL if I wanted to. Yeah. Or build that war chest continuously until the right opportunity arises. So, yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a think about that one.
So, just been, before you jump in, just been running the meta of whatever Mr. K sent me for the team instructions, obviously just with my player instructions.
Just what I've I've landed on anyway.
Whatever you've sent me that you've landed on, just out of curiosity, I've just ran 4 games, 4 different clubs, and 4 wins. And even though the wins are like 1 or 2-0, convincing wins on the pitch. Yeah. Like the one I've got up now, we've had 13 shots, but we've had like 60% possession. Yeah. You know, the other game I've had 58 possession, and the other one that's running alongside of it is nearly finished. So, and on the pitch, the team just looks good. I mean, there's going to be an element of variance here.
Oh yeah, that's
I haven't touched any of my other stuff though.
There's a meta this season. It's a problem because there should.
It's not a formation either. It's not
formation. It's instructions. There is a meta
I've just
on instructions.
I've just left mine narrow. All the player instructions what I had, which are quite minimal anyway, but just change the sliders and stuff to whatever Mr. K sent in the Discord just for me to have a play. And I've done it on the 5th games are running now, and all of them I've won, all 4 of them. And then on that 5th one, it's a draw, but my team is dominating.
Yep.
And it is one of my... I actually have been pulled against a better opposition by quite a bit on that one, unfortunately, but I'm still drawing, so we'll see how it pans out. But yeah, very interesting. Yeah. It's quite nice to watch some MFL games, to be fair. I mean, I have got to go and celebrate my missus' birthday, but at the same time, it's quite nice to sit here and watch some games.
Well, I don't think we've got community questions this week because you've been slacking, haven't you?
Yeah, Root completely slacked this week, so we have no community questions. He didn't put the call out.
I thought the community would have just put some out anyway, you know what I mean?
We need to prompt him, don't we? So next week, I won't be here. I think. Are you guys? Have you
Is it
secured?
next week you're not here? I thought it was the 8th you weren't here.
Oh, is that not next week? It's 2
No,
weeks.
next week's the 1st.
Oh, okay, that's okay. We don't have to talk about that then. What we are going to do, and I'm sure Jimbo will mention it on the When Deck, but we should probably talk about it, is we will, all three of us, be part of the When Deck Packed Up stream on Wednesday. We will all be on there hosting with Jimbo, which should be pretty cool. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Getting on the When Deck Packed Up stream, that'll be pretty wicked. So
I just like how you've said that now, made it public knowledge, and Root was like, I'll have to check with work, but now you've just basically no balls him into it. I like that. Well played.
I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, no, I think I replied and gone, out of 3 bullet points, I think it was like, would love to, we'll have to let you know, we'll get back to you, type thing. But it's
Well,
fine.
you're doing it now. You're doing it now.
I'm also meant to be on with Amrezy from 6:30 that night. So, like, I haven't spoke to my missus yet. Like,
Well,
the whole of Wednesday would be a write-off if I do both, which isn't impossible, but...
Go give her a good birthday evening, wink wink nudge nudge, and then ask afterwards.
Well, you can just carry on talking for about 3 minutes, and I'll come back if you like.
I've got your present here, love. I know they say things come in small packages. I'm apologising. I'm sorry.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, shall we wrap this up?
Yeah. Well, me and Mr. K will definitely be there, and Root will, unless he's
I'm
a
going to try
bitch.
it very hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Are you still talking about Packed Stream?
Yeah. If he's not there, guys, you know his birthday present wasn't adequate. Okay. So just if he isn't there, yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is quite a quick episode for us. Well done, lads. We're going to wrap it up there. Again, don't forget to join the Discord if you want to get involved in all the community questions and stuff like that, and put in your submissions for next week's Tactics Corner. Hopefully, Root will be able to get around to do it. If you can't, let one of us know. We'll have to do it. But usually it's Root who handles that stuff.
Should be able to sort it out. Should be fine.
Yeah, cool. So look out for that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you next time.